Hello. Hope everyone is well. And if not, I hope you will be soon. I am hopping on today with this coaching transmission to tune into the art of staying on track. And this is basically the self-discipline pillar. So it can be quite triggering for many people, which is always a good sign, because when we're triggered by something, it means that change is happening, change is on its way. Being triggered means there is a response in the body that is not free flowing at this point. So that trigger is an opportunity to step into something new and to step into a new realm and a new space and a new expansion. So we should always embrace the triggers and be reflective. Oh, why is this triggering me? What is this bringing up for me now? So looking here at self-discipline and staying on track today. So this is really important, and with all of my group coaching transmissions, they come into the field because they are collectively important. So you can always really rest assured that it will be relative to you. And so this is a really important piece, because many of us will let the ego get in the way and go, oh, I already know about that, or yeah, I'm really good at that anyway, or I'm terrible at that. I'm so, we have these deficiencies and excessive natures in the ego. The thing is when a group coaching transmission comes through, it is always relative collectively. So really being open to that right now before we begin, that you are going to receive wisdom and learning from this transmission. Okay. So the art of staying on track and being self-disciplined. This is very tricky because we have to learn to be accountable to ourselves. We have to learn that there are tools in place for us to live the best lives we can possibly live. But we have to be accountable to the challenges that we face when we are going to stay disciplined or stay on track with something. So let's presume, which I know you all do, you have an idea, or you are fully aware of what needs to be done in order to serve your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual body. So let's presume we all have that understanding that we need to take care of the physical form, we need to take care of the emotional form, excuse me, we need to take care of the mental form, so that the spirit, the soul, can soar through the body in this existence, and we can live the life that we are destined to live. So we have some responsibility to take care of the physical vessel, the emotional vessel, the mental vessel. Let's presume that we know physical body. Okay, let's say we know we need movement, we need exercise. Mental body, we know that we need tools for the mind to remain peaceful and balanced. Let's say meditation and mindset coaching and practicing affirmations and manifestation techniques. We know that we need to release the emotional body, so moving the energy out of the body, being emotionally aware, shifting stories, so maybe let's say that's journaling and a chanting practice. And spiritual body, we know that we need to express our spiritual nature. So let's say that is practicing ritual daily and meditating, or practicing qigong and connecting into your spiritual body. And say we have a certain number of things that we need to do. We now need to become accountable to ourselves, and disciplined, self-disciplined in doing it. Now, when we hear the word discipline in the West, we often go straight into being told what to do, external discipline. So discipline of a teacher telling you what to do, of your employer telling you what to do, of your mum and dad telling you what to do when you were little. And this kind of dictatorship, people telling you what to do. So this is where we go straight away to this external discipline, and the body becomes rebellious for many people. And that can be something that we're aware of, or something that we're not aware of. We can get this rebellious nature where we are very, I'm not doing that, you're not the boss of me, you're not telling me what to do. Or we can get this opposite energy where we are less aware of those patterns of self-sabotage And there is an underlying energetic that comes up where we just stop doing the things that are good for us, or we don't even start them. And it's less conscious. We're less consciously aware of it. Whatever it is, we have to learn to override these self-sabotage patterns that pull us away from being disciplined and self-disciplined. So we need to look at self-discipline from the Eastern lens rather than the Western lens. And in the Eastern lens, it is a series of beneficial actions that we choose to take so that we can live the best possible life and have the healthiest mind, body, and spirit. So we choose to do these things. We may not like them in the beginning. They may challenge us. It may be hard, but we use the form, in Sanskrit, we say tapas. We use this energy of tapas, which means you might not like doing it. It might challenge you, but the highest good is more important to you. So the desired outcome is more important than the action. So it's like, you want strong triceps and strong chest. You might not like doing push-ups, but you're going to do the push-ups because you want the strong chest and you want the strong triceps. It might be that you want to lose weight and it's hard to lose weight. It's challenging to lose weight. You don't want to have those green smoothies every day, but you're gonna have the green smoothies every day because you want to lose the weight. That's the bigger picture. So with tapas, it is things that we might find challenging and not want to do and have various reasons why we're avoiding or sabotaging those things. But we know that the outcome is for our highest good, so we do these things anyway. And this is part of discipline in the beginning because we have to be structured with our discipline until it becomes habitual. And that means we need to rise above the feelings of not wanting to do something. All right. So let's look at it this way. You have committed to meditating every day. All right. And you emotionally at the feeling space, the chakra, the sacral chakra, might not want to do the meditation because of self-sabotage, because of feelings of failure or inadequacy or self-love issues, self-care issues. You might know what these things are, you might not. But your solar plexus is where you need to go instead of the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra will go, oh no, I don't feel like it. And then you go, oh yeah, I'm not feeling like it, I'm not doing it. And then we have the pattern of judging ourselves and being, negative towards ourselves because we didn't do what we said we were going to do. Whereas if we tap into the solar plexus, this is the chakra that does it anyway, so it's almost like consulting the chakra system. So your sacral chakra might say, no, let's not do it. I can't be bothered. It's too hard, and go into victim mentality. But your solar plexus will go, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway, because I know it's for the highest good. So this is what we need to tap into if we're finding it challenging to actually commit to the things. We need to tap into that, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway energy. I'm going to rise through it. I'm going to do it even though it's difficult. I'm going to do it even though it's challenging. I'm going to do it even though there's fear, because I know that what I'm committing to is for the highest good. So I'm doing it anyway, regardless of it being hard. And this is that energy that is powerful. Like some things we might not want to do. We might not want to go for that 4K run in the morning or go and get on the spin bike for 20 minutes, but we know we need to because the intention is to take care of the heart or to lose weight or to remain fit or supple or healthy or just to get this body flowing so the lymphatic system is clearing out. We need to be disciplined with our actions. And this level of discipline is a daily commitment. The art of staying on track is not easy because certain points we will hit sabotage. Often around day 18 to 21 of committing to something is where many people fall off the wagon, stop doing it, because those are the days that the self-sabotage patterns really come up to test us. And we have to work really hard to stay committed and to tap into willpower and determination. In order to stay on track and to be self-disciplined, we must create structure. So we might believe we are someone who doesn't need structure, doesn't thrive on structure. and we can be free flowing, or I'm a very organic person and I just go with the flow. We cannot do that when it comes to self-discipline if there is a self-discipline problem. If we are having a problem committing to something, we must create structure. We must have a system in place. We must commit to something, whether that is writing down a plan, having it on the whiteboard, having a tracker on your phone, writing it down in your journal, setting alarms. There needs to be at least 3 months of strict discipline structure so that we can build a habit. So if I say, right, I'm going to exercise every morning at 6 a.m., I need to write that down somewhere and have that affirmed back to me. I need to create a timetable that says 6 a.m., 6 a.m., maybe an alarm that goes off. So the structure helps me to be accountable to my new commitment. And 3 months is the amount of time that it really takes for it to land into a habitual pattern. And when it lands into a habitual pattern, we are very likely to do it anyway, because it has become habit. That means we've embodied it, but it takes 3 months to embody it. Now, if you are struggling with self-discipline and find yourself not doing the things on a regular basis, then where's your structure? That's what I'm going to ask you to look at. Where is your structure? Because your structure must happen. It must be there. There must be some dedication and discipline. There must be something in place that holds you accountable. You know, whether it's setting up a system with me so that I check in with you daily, or so that you check in with me daily and you tell me, I've done my journaling today, tick. Or I've done my exercise these 3 days of the week, or whatever it is. There's got to be a system in place, because we need to create structure to create discipline. And so if it's a morning routine that we need, we're going to write that down and have a plan for what that morning routine looks like. And we might need to tick that off every single day until it becomes something that we just do. Until it becomes something that is so habitual that we don't even have to think about it. And if you're thinking to yourself right now, that's not possible, that's not going to happen, I don't have time, then that is because you have not done it yet. You have not committed to it yet. How can you say that it doesn't work, or that it's too hard, or that you don't have time, when you actually have never prioritized it? You know, so this is why we've got to say, right, 3 months, I'm going to give that. And then if you do it for 3 months and you come back to me and tell me that it's not been embodied, then yeah, I will be very surprised, you know, because when we do something for 3 months straight, 90 days, that's the amount of time that it takes to create a permanent habit. So if it's important to you, you will do it. And if it doesn't feel important to you at this stage, you have to fake it till you make it. You have to believe in the worthiness of the cause, in the worthiness of you. You have to believe you are worth giving that healthy habit to. You have to know that and trust that. Because if you do not believe that you are worthy of the outcome, then it's never going to happen. To believe that you're worthy of the outcome means you need to practice the worthiness associated with it, practicing affirmations, practicing self-love, nurturing yourself, eating well, massaging your skin, practicing self-love meditation, whatever it is to honor the temple that you're in. You need to practice doing those things so that you can practice being worthy of what the outcome is if you become self-disciplined. Self-discipline is one of the hardest things for many personality types. We don't always prioritize ourselves. So when we don't always prioritize ourselves, we might start really well with this new habit and then it just drops to the wayside because we suddenly start to put ourselves down on the list of priorities and we stop choosing to take care of ourselves. The next thing we know, that healthy habit that we had of exercising every morning at 6 a.m. is gone out of the window, and we notice we're back in that sabotage pattern of drinking coffee first thing in the morning and rolling out of bed late and going and getting a Danish from the pastry shop and, you know, eating shit in the morning and drinking shit in the morning and feeling crap all day because we haven't supported our energetics in a way that is healthy first thing in the morning. Now, yes, it can be boring. It can be triggering. It can be challenging to give yourself this kind of structure, but until discipline is created, you don't have discipline. So you must put structure in place until the discipline is there. And this is the same for all of us. The idea is 3 months of following some kind of strict discipline is going to bring us into a committed habit. So then if we really get clear on that 3 months and we tick it off every day and we're very disciplined, the idea is that maybe we can then be less strict with having it written down or plastered everywhere or having to tick it off, because it's going to become more natural. It's going to become more embodied. So it won't feel like a chore or like a stress or like an added responsibility. It will be a gift that we are giving ourselves. All right. So in terms of staying on track, we need to have a plan. Okay. And, you know, a lot of you know me, I'm not a big planner, but I am a big believer that the reason I am disciplined is because I am committed to having a structure until I no longer need the structure. Everything I do daily, meditation, exercise, like exercise is a really, really, really important one for me. It's very rarely missed. I'm a little bit allergic this morning, by the way. That's why I'm itchy, and I don't know what it is. I think it must be the pollen. So forgive me if I'm a bit, tickly. It is that energy of having committed to the discipline involved at the beginning. So way back in my early 20s, I discovered that I needed to exercise every day. Now, it wasn't something that was habitual to me. So I created a timetable with the help of my coach at the time, or personal trainer, I think it was, and created a timetable that I stuck up on my wall. I put it next to my bed. I had it in my phone. I had it in my diary, and it would tell me Monday, gym, Tuesday, yoga, Wednesday, PT, etc. And it was anchored in, and I would use that timetable and look at it and follow it. And I did that for probably a few years with exercise. And then I would change it and, put the exercise in at different times. And then I would start to put in my healthy eating into that as well. And then as I evolved, my meditation and, all of those different things, they started to become timetabled until I felt completely at one with that practice. And I knew that even if my timetable or my schedule went away, I would still be anchored in that habit. And that is what I have done for everything that I have ever done in my life, is put it into structure until it becomes embodied. And this is so key and foundational in our energetics becoming aligned to our actions. So when we know how meditation makes us feel, and how much better we are because we committed to it, and how much better we are in mind, body, spirit, how much more expansive we are, how much easier manifestation is, how energized we are and balanced and loving and compassionate and all those things, it's not going to be something that goes to the wayside because it's so foundationally important. With exercise, we are healthier, we can move better, we have a better quality of life, our organs are healthier, we are more magnetic, the energy flows better, we get sick less, all of these things and millions more. We're not going to stop the exercise because we know that it is required. So if you believe that you don't need a structure, you're wrong. I don't like to say that, but you're wrong. You do need a structure. We all need a structure. We also need to get really clear on what we want to do. So in terms of, excuse me, in terms of what those things are, what are those things that we need to do for our own unique wellness? Now, if there are many things, I need to start exercising, I need to eat better, I need to meditate, we can get a bit overwhelmed because there's so many things, and then it feels as if we're trying to commit to all of these things at once, and there's too many things and it's too hard. So if that's the case for you, you need to take incremental steps towards actioning what needs to be done. So if you've got no current discipline and no practice in place, and then you try to do all the things at once, it can be overwhelming. So incremental steps, right? What am I going to do first? Okay, I'm going to establish a morning routine. And that might be where we start. Or I'm going to, what's the priority? If there's health problems and we need to, lose weight or something like that, then that's a priority, right? And that means cardiovascular exercise to drop the body fat percentage, and weight training or similar to increase the muscle mass. So that's a priority. So then you're going to carve that out, right? I'm going to see a personal trainer this many times a week. And just a reminder, I am a personal trainer and exercise physiologist, and that's my background. So you can hit me up about exercise any freaking time. And I can give you a plan, or you can even work with me. We can work together. I still take personal training clients who are really ready to do the work, and ready to work out in a very fun and unique way. And also food, nutrition. This is my thing. I'm a nutritionist and I'm passionate about food. So if food's a struggle, we can do that too. We need to choose the priorities and then take these incremental steps towards actioning them instead of, crazy. Like, look at the thing, gut health. If you've started having colonics, why have you stopped? If that's the case, and I see this all the time, we don't need to stop colonics. We have to have them regularly. And I believe that everyone needs colonics, and I believe that everyone would benefit from enemas. So have a look at if you have started those things and stopped, and have a look if we've discussed you starting them and you haven't, why? Because your gut health is a primary foundational tool for wellness. So have a look at the why. Have a look at why those things are not happening. And get disciplined, write them down, carve them out in the diary. Make a list of the things that you are going to do and be disciplined about, but then just tick them off incrementally and do bit by bit, 2% increase every day or something similar. Rather than overwhelming yourself and trying to do everything all at once, what am I going to do now? Okay, I'm going to build this habit in, and I'm going to start slowly. One thing that I will say is that some of you who do feel, and this is some people, in general, not everywhere, some people will sort of have that, I'm just going to do these little tiny baby things. And sometimes it's not enough. You're not pushing yourself enough. You need a little bit more. I'm just going to start really slowly, and I'm going to, do this. I'm not saying go all in hard to the point that it's going to be overwhelming or you're going to fail because you're actually challenging yourself too much. You're not ready for it. But baby steps are good, but you just need to be making sure that you are challenging yourself a little bit. So if it's like, okay, I need to start exercising, I'm just going to go for a 5-minute walk once a week. Well, no, that's not enough. It's not enough. Let's get real. Especially if we say you need 20 minutes of cardiovascular exercise every day to remain healthy. So you don't need to do it that way. You could do 3 60-minute sessions a week, or you could do 5 40-minute sessions a week, or you could do 20 minutes a day. But you need to be, challenging yourself that little bit so that you do feel results and you do feel the transformation beginning to happen. Other people are all or none. Yeah, they go in really hard and everything is so disciplined and locked in and happening, and then suddenly just falls straight off the wagon. So that often means we've gone way too hard, way too soon. And it's not sustainable. If it's not sustainable, it's not going to last. So finding that little pivotal point of hitting challenge and transformation is going to happen. You're going to actually get better results. You're more likely to be committed to it, but not going too hard and not enough. So the art of self-discipline, or the art of staying on track, first we need to know and identify the things that need to happen in our life. On a daily basis, we need to be serving the mind, the emotions, the physical body, and the soul. So look at it as those four bodies, even though it's more complex than that really, but look at it as those four bodies: physical body, muscles, joints, bones, lymphatic system, central nervous system, etc. Emotions, the emotional body, the feelings, the mental body, the mind, the thoughts, and then the soul, the part of you that is uniquely you, your dharma, your service, your essence. That spiritual body. We need to be serving these bodies each day. And many people really do not get this right because they're so heavy fixated on the physical. Gym, junkie in terms of exercise and movement, but no emotional or mental awareness. Or we're heavy in the emotional body, really processing emotions all the time and getting really into that, but not taking care of the physical body. Or we're really, very, very common in the West is to be very heavy mental body dominant, but not really taking care of the others. And the soul is neglected often because we don't have that spiritual practice in place. So if we're going to get really committed to optimum wellness, health and vitality, then we need to stay committed to a practice or process for all of those bodies. Now, reality is it might not happen every day. It would be good if it can. But the reality is that, one day you might miss your journaling, or you might only exercise every second day, whatever, that's fine. But making sure that even 5 minutes of soul connection, closing your eyes and feeling the nature, or going outside and staring into the trees, or getting your feet on the earth, or chanting a mantra, or practicing some qigong outside, or even journaling about your spiritual connection, having a daily ritual, sitting at your altar, whatever it is, starting to really feel into what have I done each day to serve these different parts of myself. And this is really important, that we kind of have that self-reflection of what have I done for my mind today? What have I done for my emotions? What have I done for my physical body? What have I done for the soul? Even if it's like coming to a women's circle once a month, and that's a real great thing to do for your soul, for your spiritual body, also for your emotional body, because you're going to share and be around like-minded women, also for your mental body, because you're going to learn things that are going to help you stay balanced, also great for the physical body, because we'll move and dance, etc. So there's things that encompass everything, and then there's things that are really quite separate. So let's break this down into steps. The art of self-discipline, or the art of staying on track. Number one, identify what needs to be done to serve your highest good on a daily basis. Number two, write those things down. Number three, take actionable steps towards making them happen, incremental steps. Make a plan in your journal as to what needs to be done. What's your tracking system, tracking your progress? Are you going to have a tracker app in your phone? Are you going to have a journal that you write into? Are you going to have a whiteboard with a timetable on it? Are you going to have timetables stuck on your fridge or next to your bed? Are you going to have an accountability buddy? Are you going to use me for that? I'm here for that. So what are you going to do? And you need to also try to divulge or commit to it verbally to someone else. So either a friend or me or anyone in this group. Own it. This is what I'm going to do. And then we can help you to stay accountable to doing that thing. We don't want to see you fail, and we want to see you succeed. But if we don't know what you're committing to, then it's hard for us to help and support. So what are you committing to? And then what are the steps? And if you don't know what the steps are, that's something that you can ask me. And I can help you, because individually there might be a better way for you to do it. Now, I know in my own body, when I, really identified what was missing in my discipline a few years ago, it was always the emotional body stuff. That was the part where I was like, I'm really tough. I can just take it all. I don't need to express my emotions. Crying's for losers, all of that. Very different these days. It was always physical body, no problem. Exercise, yoga, movement, running, gym, PT, whatever, no problem. Mental body, no problem. Mantra and journaling and writing things out in a way that was mental body structuring. And always having a coach to talk through the mental body stuff. Spiritual body was also no problem, because I've been chanting and meditating since I was 20. So no problem. But the emotional body, I would just not look at that, pack that away, hold that in, not express that, not cry, not look at it. Too much trauma. And then we realize one day, oh my gosh, that's what's missing. So then we have to have something. And we will all have that one area that is less natural for us, but we've got to commit to doing something that might push us out of our comfort zone. So for me, I actually systematically structured in daily emotional release techniques. So I would use tapping, EFT, which we can talk about. I would use journaling prompts designed around releasing emotions, and I would chant mantras specifically to release emotions in my body. And I would even practice feeling different emotions to familiarize myself with them. So using, excuse me, a little bit like a yoga nidra, where you create the feeling in your body. I would create the feeling and imagine the feeling of anger and sadness and grief and guilt. I would do the Buddhist dancing emotional practice, which is where we dance through different emotions. I'm going to run a workshop in the new year, and I'm going to include that as part of the practice because it's so powerful. So we dance through fear, we dance through anger, we dance through sadness, we dance through happiness, we dance through joy. And that can really help us to familiarize ourselves with the feelings, because a lot of us, we can't actually differentiate between being sad, being happy, being angry. You know, it's all very confusing in the system for many people when it comes to emotional regulation, and that's quite common. So let's identify what we need to commit to. Let's write those things down. Let's get really committed to the actionable steps that we're going to take, incremental steps, bringing these things in, just letting my dog inside, bringing these things in a way, come on puppy, bringing these things in a way that is really going to work for you, so that it is, you know, something that you're committing to and it's manageable, and then setting whatever system you want to set in order to be accountable, so that you're tracking your progress and that you have a system in place. Now, quickly before I close here, I'm going to just leave you with why it's important. Hello, hot boy. My boy's just been out in the sun. Let's have a look at him. There he is. How cute. Why is it important? Okay, so it's important that we have self-discipline so that we can do the things that are required in us in order for us to thrive, right? So for us to thrive, we need to be taking care of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. We need to have those outlets, those tools, those support systems in place in those different areas of our being, so that our energy can flow freely through our body without challenge, without blockage, without imbalance. We need to be healthful so that we can get this physical vessel to last our lifetime. We need to honor the temple that we've been given and take care of it all so that we can remain in balance, happy, be magnetic, be manifestors, be abundant, and so on. Why is it important for us to be disciplined? Because we deserve it. We deserve to live our best possible lives. We are worthy of having the best human experience. And to do that, we need to put effort in. Effort, when applied to something like this, only feels like effort for that 3-month period or that 90-day period. And then when it becomes embodied, it is actually something that is natural for us to do. So if you're struggling to get to that 3-month mark of being committed to something every single day, I want you to hit me up. I want you to let me know. I want you to reach out to me, and I want us to discuss it, because now is the time, coming into the new year and coming into that energy of acceptance and vitality and new intentions for 2025. Now is the time to remain committed. All right, we're going to leave it there. And I want to hear from you all. It's very easy for you to just let these things slip. So please come back to me. Let me know in a private message. Let me know in the group how you're going with your discipline at the moment, how it feels in terms of where you're at, what you need help with, where you need support, and let's get this happening together. All right, my beautiful ones. Can't wait to hear from you all. Have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous weekend.